for this opportunity. There's been a lot of people that have spoken, and I was just saying, how do I follow from this? You guys have all been amazing. I want to start with a quote. It says, "Do not die with the music still in you." This was by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And what this means is everybody has a unique purpose. Everybody has a unique gift that they've brought to this world. And what he means is do not leave this world without sharing that uniqueness that you've brought with it. My background is clearly not luxury perfumes. This is an area of interest that I have. Right from when I was at university, or even before then, I was collecting perfumes. But in hindsight, I realized that I was collecting fragranced water. That was not perfume. What most of the world is using is not perfume. Is, back in the day, like when you used to see the Black Americans with really lovely hair, and you wondered how they get this hair, but then over a period of time, you realize that was the real deal. So that's how perfumes are as well. So all of this time, I kind of knew there was something missing. I'll wear perfumes, but then everybody smelled the same. It wasn't lasting. You would have to spray like 50 times to smell good. And then all of that time I was thinking, I'm sure there's something else. I'm sure there's something else. And then I discovered niche perfumes. Niche perfumes are perfumes made by brands that all they just do is perfumes. So most of the brands that most people buy from are maybe things like, I don't know, Hugo Boss, Gucci, and then Gucci will sell bags, they'll sell shoes, they'll then give a celebrity a perfume to take a picture of, and then they start to buy, they start to sell the perfume. So these were made for masses, but niche perfumes are made for the select few people. I would say probably the top 3% of the world, and that's how I want it to smell. So the first time I saw a perfume, it was £400 for 50 mil. I almost fainted, and I thought, how am I going to buy this? There was no way to try it out. I'll go on YouTube, I'll watch videos, and people say, oh, this smells really nice. And I'm thinking, why do I want to spend £400 to get it wrong? And that was where the idea of my business came. So I'm an independent luxury perfume consultant. And what this means is I match people to perfume. So the same way you would have like somebody who is a matchmaker, say you're looking for a partner, for a husband, I match you to perfume. So I don't do the relationship side, I do the perfumes. So the perfumes I would match you to are not perfumes I've made myself. I've got a nose for perfume. So brands like so the top brands like Memo Paris, Roger Dove, Amouage, these are names that most people don't even know about because they've been selling us, like I say, fragrance water and not the real deal. So my topic is from passion to profit, turning what you love into wealth. For me, when I was thinking of a business, it was a no-brainer to start with something I had. Sometimes I don't sleep at night. I could be awake from like 9 o'clock till 5 researching perfumes. I'll wake up at night, I'll take a sample home, I'll try it over at night. If I'm going for a run in the daytime, I'll wear my perfume to try. So I'm really obsessed about this thing. So it was a no-brainer that was my business. That was what I was going to go into business for. Now I'll be honest, I've made mistakes in the business. That's part of learning. And when I started, like I said, I didn't invest a lot into the business because it's a highly risky venture, because if a bottle of perfume is £400, you don't want to buy something that you end up not liking. So what my business does is it gives people the opportunity to try out these perfumes before buying a full bottle, right? So the idea is you're able to date, for example, 4 to 5 perfumes at once in a luxury set. And then if you decide to buy a bottle eventually, you can go and buy one. Or if you don't want to, you can just keep dating really high luxury perfumes that when you walk into a room, people literally stop to say, who's this person that's coming? One thing I remember back in the day when I was younger, there used to be this sort of uncles and aunties who walked into a room, or big celebrities, when you're like, they smell different to every other person, but these are the kind of perfumes I want everybody to be part of their normal life. So turning my passion into profit was definitely looking at what I was obsessed about, I would do this job for free. I've even done consultations for free. And then I have to take myself back to the business model and say, no, this is your business, but I'm so crazy about it that I would do it for free. So my advice is look inwards, look at yourself. What is it that you would do even with your eyes closed? Everybody has a unique gift. Everybody has a unique song to sing in their life. And you don't want to be a has been like, oh, you had all this opportunity and you didn't do it. So what can you do with what you have? When I started my business, I didn't invest up to £100 to start with, but now I have over 500 luxury perfumes in my business that people can date. So the idea is don't wait for a perfect time. I always say to people, if you're waiting for a perfect time, my advice is there's no perfect time. Start now. Start broke, start hungry, start in any way that you have. It could even be researching that you started. It could even be by registering your business name. There's some things that don't cost money to start with, and then as you go, look within. Like, I remember when I started, I always look at my previous pictures to now. When I started with samples, like 2 ml samples, I remember, but now people can buy like 30 ml, miniature versions of perfumes of all the top brands in the world. So, and believe in your dream. One thing I've learned from turning my passion to profit was not always sharing all your ideas with people, because they don't have the vision that you have. So I think in the past I would say to somebody, oh, what do you think of this? They're like, oh, it's too soon, don't do it now, and the idea dies. But you need to keep that in your heart until it comes to fruition. I have a website now. When I wanted to start my website before, I paid this man who ended up swindling me. That was a business mistake. So I paid a lot of money. He had models. I was telling people, oh, the models are taking picture of the products and all of this, which was happening. But at the end of the day, because I talked a bit too much about it, it didn't happen. So when I started my website again, nobody knew about it until it was a finished product. So I think as a business person, you need to learn to start slow. Start with whatever you have. Don't wait for a perfect time. Don't say, oh, I'm going to do it when my kids grow up. I'm going to do it. There's never in life changes. When you think that you've got the time, something else will come and take that time. So start. People who have businesses today, look at Richard Branson, the owner of I'm sure that's his name, the owner of Virgin Atlantic. Yes, he leased a plane with zero pounds. He leased a plane, the first plane that flew, because you don't have to pay money for that. He kept pestering Boeing until they leased him a plane, and they leased it to him thinking he was not going to pay. And that's how he started a business. Now you've even got Virgin Media and all the. So the thing is, success leaves a lot of clues. You look at successful people in the world, most of them started broke. Most of them started with just a dream and an idea. So my advice to women here today is don't start with whatever you have. Don't look at another person and say, oh, they're very successful already. Success leaves a lot of clues. In the UK, for example, you can see lots of stores. You see Asda, you see Waitrose, you see M&S. These are all stores doing the same thing, but they have a different thing to offer. So you could be doing the same thing somebody else is doing that you have a passion for. 10 years down the line, you're the named brand, you're the named person in that. So don't ever feel people are there before you. There's no excuse. Don't say, oh, these guys have been there before us. Look at TikTok. TikTok, I'm sure, came afterwards before other, and they blew. So don't limit yourself. What I would say is there's no perfect time. Start with what you have. Identify your passion and your skills. What would you do for free? What are you known for? Are you good at cooking? Are you good at writing? Are you good at giving advice? Some people are very shy, and they say that the success you want to have is on the other side of your fears. So whatever you're afraid of, go and do it. That's where the money's at. So that's one of the things I was going to say. I was also going to say something that believe that what you have to offer is valuable. Because if you feel like, oh, like someone said before, we're very good at making excuses. Oh, I stutter. People would like what I have to say, or I don't. I've seen people who can't even speak English who are selling like passionately, and people are buying it. So there's no excuse. Even if you have to learn a new language to sell your product or to sell what you have, go and learn it. That's what one of the things I wanted to say. How many more minutes have I got? I'm not sure how long I've got. 3 minutes. Okay, that's fine. So there's also one person I followed recently who was saying monetize your knowledge. A lot of people, like one of the things I do in my business is I do consultations and I charge for it. So that's my knowledge I'm monetizing. So over the past 4 or 5 years, I have trained my nose. I actually need to go and insure it now because I'm able to smell a fragrance and automatically can tell you what notes are in it, who is going to match. You're going for a party, okay, what kind of perfumes have you wanted? So I've used that knowledge, I've monetized that knowledge that I can book consultations, I go for workshops, I do workshops, I go for events, and I'm looking into doing speeches just like how I'm doing today, talking about the art of fragrance and how it can change your world. You walk into a place, it's not just what you're wearing, it's how you're smelling, it's how you're presenting yourself. Now, besides fragrance, there are other areas that people might be interested in, particularly social media. Some people want to go and, talk about what they're doing, what they're about, share what they know with the world. Now we have a platform that was never there before. Before, you'd have to go and book, I don't know, with a radio station or whatever, or the newspapers. Now you can literally set your ring lights, be in your room, and you're talking to anybody who is out there. So my advice to all of us is be confident. Don't be don't be afraid. Don't feel like you haven't got anything to offer. And most importantly, do not die with the music in you. Continue to look inward. Be quiet. Just be in a quiet room and ask yourself, what is it that I do? What am I good at? Write 10 things that you're good at doing. Before 30 minutes, you'll find something that only you uniquely can offer the world. And I'd like to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I don't want to wait till the very end of my 3 minutes, but I've really appreciated it. I've been here since. I was on my other phone, listening to everybody from the beginning, from the doctor who was talking from when she was in the car, and it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much, and I hope that we get to see another time again soon. Thank you all so much. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. But thank you. So I always my it's Roveys on Instagram, so Roveys_NC, and my slogan is date the fragrance. So you're dating the fragrance before you buy a full bottle. Thank you. So Roveys as an ROVEYS. I'll write it in the group. So ROVEYS_NC on Instagram and on TikTok. Thank you.